¿Tú no te tu cara? ¿Tu cara no?
Un poquito.
Alright, so here we are in Mazatlan. We're disembarking on the ferry. Pretty smooth ride, a little rocky. Something did happen mechanically, so we're actually arrived, what, like 3 hours later than we were supposed to. But we're here, everything's unloaded. Everyone's been ready to ride off for the last like 30 minutes, waiting on me. But here we go. Heading straight to the Pacifico Brewery. Check in.
Here we are heading down the first ramp of the boat, entering into Mazatlan. Mazatlan became one of Mexico's most alluring and inviting beach destinations in the mid-20th century, before it lurched past its prime and into a mid-market package tourist category. Recently, however, Mazatlan's historic core has been restored and peopled by the creative class. The result is a historic city that eats well, plays hard, and remains just a short walk from those luscious beaches. Notice these trailers. They're loaded on the cargo shed. In some instances, it truly is just the trailer. There's these special little mini semis that you'll see here shortly that offload the trailers, and then the trailers are hooked up to 16-wheeled trucks once on the dock. There's one of them straight ahead of us. Speaking of straight ahead of us, look off to the left. There's a rock. It's a very, very significant rock. That's a hint for later. Pacifico, maybe? Speaking of Pacifico, here we are pulling in to the front entrance of the Pacifico Cerveceria. That's the big building off to the right, the blue and white one. Getting ready to do our Pacifico factory tour.
The best beers. Here we are at Mazatlan. We're standing outside the gate. Oh, look at that whole. You know what else is cool is this crazy thing. Did you get that, Scott?
Feel that? Yeah.
It's like a Volkswagen Bug, like limousine conversion thing. Look at that thing. I don't even know what you call that. Volkswagen limousine. But anyhow, so we're gonna go to old downtown Mazatlan, and then come back for our brewery tour in about an hour and a half or so, hour 15. Let's do it.
We're here in like old historic Mazatlan. This was according to the Lonely Planet book, and like the #1 must-see, some restored theater. It's called Teatro Ángel Peralta. It took a little effort to get here, but we made it pretty smoothly. Don Catarino, the old guy, the curator, we paid our 15 peso entrance, which is roughly $1, I guess. Basically brought us into this courtyard here, told us the lay of the theater, and said go wherever the hell we want, do whatever we want. So a little bit about Mexico. And again, it's Monday. What is the day?
What day?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So according to the Lonely Planet book, this is actually pretty cool. I think this thing was built like in the 1850s or something like that. And it was kind of left for dead in around like 1950. And then it got like pretty destroyed by a hurricane in the 70s. And it was like slated to be torn down. And the people of Mazatlan kind of pulled together and actually did like a restoration effort. But yeah, the book says that everything about it is kind of all the original everything. Like look at these like cast metal fixtures and stuff like that. And it's still an active theater now. There's a school next door that kind of shares the theater stuff. I don't know. He said we could go up on stage, sing, dance, do whatever the hell we want.
Oh, that's what the dance is.
Okay, here we are. Estamos con Evangelina, our tour guide. We are at the top of the world, I swear to God. Top of the world. 8th floor of the Pacifico plant. We're enjoying our complimentary little mini Pacificos. Lovely tour guide. Finished the tour. This is like their museum and tasting room. The brewery dates back to the 1900s, started by 3 Germans. Part of one of the largest groups of, the Grupo Modelo is one of the largest groups of Mexican beers out there. But this is their museum too, where you can see all sorts of old ads. Where they say they sponsor, look at, sponsors different various sporting events, baseball teams, local teams in Mazatlan, the primary sponsor. Look at that, dude. There's the 3 German founders back in 1900. Yeah, look at that, March 14th, 1900. You can see the evolution of their logo. That one's awesome. Look at those like pine cones, or pineapples. What do you think of the tour, Sina? How's the Pacifico like?
Refreshing. Cheers.
We gotta walk back over the one corner to show you the hill, the mountain, and of course a fantastic view. You see that? That's the mountain right there at the edge of the water in Mazatlan. Fantastico. Cerveza del Pacifico. It says right there. Fantastic. In addition, you can see the ferry too, actually. That's what we just came in on. Been in Mazatlan for all of about, what, 2.5, 3 hours now. The Pacifico's in our bellies. We headed south, about 76 kilometers to be exact, to the Pueblo Mágico of Rosario. Look at the sun setting as we're headed southbound on just a fantastic road in the beautiful state of Sinaloa. Here we are entering into Rosario. This is a church, the main church in the town square, constructed in the mid-1850s, I do believe. Interesting story is they actually pulled rocks to construct that church from the original church that was built in 1650. We'll be seeing pictures of that soon.
We're in El Rosario, I think it is.
El Rosario. I think this is the fourth El Rosario we've come across on this trip. Staying at a very basic hotel this go around. 250 pesos, which is $16 or something like that. Pretty cheap considering it's 2 double beds or whatever size this are, bathroom, shower, everything. They greeted us with these freshly homegrown mangoes. They gave each one of us a mango as kind of like a welcoming gift. So we busted out the knife, already kind of slicing them up, and make a little mango cocktail, Mexican style, with some of these limes that we found on the beach in La Paz that we've been tagging along with us. With a little chili, it's gonna be pretty good. Then we're gonna head off and grab some food. Karen, Christina, and I are downstairs. Robot shacking up upstairs with Scott, and then Dutra and Jesus have their own room. What do you think, Robot?
Pretty cool. I'll give you everybody a tour of the rooms.
The facility is crib style.
All right, let's check out the room here.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to my crib.
All right. Let's check this out.
This is our little office slash kitchen slash multi-purpose area. This is where Steve likes to take care of snacks.
Oh, we got
And-
Scotty popping out.
Oh, look who's here.
But he's still part of the group, dude. There's a shower
Yeah.
right here.
You got the single bulb and the fan.
Bro, kick the door open. Robot's gonna come on in there, dude.
All right, let's check this out. Oh yeah, nice. It's got all the things you need. You got a toilet, you got the sink, and the shower.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, like colorful tiles. Got the blue with the white accent. The bulb's missing, but it's cool because it's got this open air concept that allows the light from the room to kind of like shine in. If you're taking a shower, it's pretty cool. And if you want to shave, see there's this outlet up here. It's pretty good. And there's some mirror there, so that's not too bad.
So Lola Beltran is from the town of El Rosario, Sinaloa. This is Marco Jr. This is Marco Sr. here. These are our hosts at the Hotel Gallindo, the only hotel in the centro of this fine town. And he has told us that this is un pueblo mágico, a magic town. And it definitely is. He's shown us some phenomenal stuff tonight. There's a museum for this singer.
Uy, te solté en la rienda.
This is her song. Famous artist from the 60s, born in this town. This is the newest of the older churches. There's a big gold bust that's been taken from the super old one and transplanted to here. In the history of this town, the Germans kind of settled it, put it on the map in the 1600s when they made it a gold mining town. Since after that, the Spanish came. We just went to the Spanish Pantheon. There's a few blocks that way where there's a bunch of tombs dating back to the mid-1800s. Pretty awesome little town. And this just happened to be the spot where we decided to stop tonight because we knew we wanted to get some kilometers under our belt, didn't want to stay in Mazatlan. Tomorrow is going to be a long day no matter how we cut it because Guadalajara is a long ways away. But we had to stop somewhere and this is where we picked to stop, and I think we'd all say that it worked out pretty damn well. Had some fantastic tacos, and the Marcos, they're giving us a ride in the truck so we don't have to walk around town tonight. It's been pretty fantastic. We give them a round of applause. We had it steadfast in our minds to stay in downtown and not on the highway. There was one hotel in town. It was not recommended by some local restaurant owners, but we were pleased that we stayed there. Hotel Gallindo. Here's a little chihuahua that was part of the welcoming committee. The family was absolutely outstanding. They had fresh mangoes growing from the trees in their plaza. They greeted us with some diced yellow mangoes covered in lemon and chili powder. They directed us. Notice the person sitting between myself and Robot. That's the son. We had to blur out his face for the sake of anonymity. Not exactly. It just worked out that way. He took us to the taqueria. Dwight James. Yes, believe it or not, the man that owned the taqueria was Dwight James. This is Tony Cole. This is actually made in that town. It's a vanilla soda. We were so enamored with Dwight James that we felt like we needed to name his taqueria. There it is. Dwight James, bitch tacos. He absolutely loved it. That's him on the right. That's our host on the left. In fact, Dwight James's grandfather was born in Iowa. Doesn't speak a lick of English, but did play in a classic American rock cover band. And here it is at night, beautifully lit. This is the original church, again, constructed in 1655. It was becoming dilapidated and falling down in the early 1800s. They made the motion to start disassembling it and transferring the blocks by hand to the new church.